Alright, hey, what's up guys? So in this video, I haven't done this long editing tutorial for a while, but I'm gonna be showing you guys how to actually edit this video from start to finish without any editing. So this video is gonna be pretty long, but it's gonna be super detailed. This is perfect for someone who's looking to actually improve their video editing skill, because you're gonna learn a bunch of technique and effects that you probably not gonna see if you watch other tutorial on YouTube. But yeah, so this is the sample video that we're gonna be working on, and then I'm gonna redo it and add my own twist into it, so I make it a little bit different. It's not exact same, but yeah. So let's play the video one time to kind of get you guys understanding of what we are going to be working with.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Alright, so it's solid, but I think we can definitely do better job than this one. Of course, we're not gonna be using CapCut. I have to bring it in and cut it here, but I'm gonna actually launch my After Effects and get to work. Okay, so it's not here. Just close here. I don't need that. I'm just gonna close CapCut for now. I don't need it. Quit. Okay. So what you can do, just gonna launch After Effects. Right now I'm using After Effects 2024. You can use 2025, whatever works. Okay. So just go with here. You're gonna see this page. Just click New Projects. You can just do New Composition. You can say Main Comp. That's also fine. And let's do HD 30 FPS. Okay, so make sure you save the project first by press Command S, and then I'm gonna say Walks. Read it, and then with the dates, probably June 15. Oh, 25. Okay. So then I would grab my reference here and then grab it in here. So what I want to do, all I need from here is just the voiceover that I need, but this one is quite big, so I want to shrink it down to 50. Right, this.
And represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage.
Alright, so let's see what can we do. So I want to actually make it in a 3D as well. So right here we have the map of USA. I believe I do have that as well, so I want to actually go down and actually trying to find it. Let's see, I should have it, not this one. Just want to straight up just USA map like this one. Okay, so just bring it in here. Pretty solid, I would say. The resolution is high, so I like that. I'm gonna lock this one so we can actually turn on and off like this.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Okay, the transition here can do a bit smoother, but I'm not gonna just go into detail right now. So the first step that I like to do is, let's turn this one off first to create a background, and I want it to be like a dark background. So right click, new, and click solid. Okay, and make sure you select black and then click OK. So right now we have the background for our map to be on, and then you're gonna drag map onto it just like this. Okay, and then scale down a little bit, maybe make sure everything in the center. And what I was planning to do is I want to change the color of the map a little bit first by using toner, right? And then you actually be able to just experiment with different color here like this. You can try to be blue, doesn't really matter. I can try green, but I'm just gonna use different effects. I want to use tints here instead, so use tints, and okay, just keep it like that. Probably change the color here. Depends on what color I want the map would be. Maybe you can try reds, but not that red. I want to like kind of unsaturated reds like this. Look pretty good. And I also want to add turbulence displays as well. Turbulence displays. I'm going to use this one. It's a preset I have, but I'm actually going to just remove here, and remove here as well. So you can see here there's low that wiggle is going on
This
the
pin
map as
represents
well.
St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Make things look a little bit more interesting. So this is how you can set it up. You can just take a look here of how I set up everything. But yeah. So here.
This pin represents
Let me just remove. Okay.
St. Mark's Hospital.
So it's gonna be. I think here is Texas. I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, it is Texas here. So what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna turn this one into 3D by clicking this cube here, and then I'm gonna turn it to probably 90, and then also add a camera, and then just click. Make sure you enable depth of field. Click OK. I don't want it to be advanced 3D. I want it to be classic 3D. Okay. And with the camera, I'm just gonna use this one. Click here and then hold Shift and then drag it up. So it's gonna bring everything down like this. And then I'm gonna use this. I don't know what's it called. Let's see. All bits around cursor to just kind of move things and turn around a little bit. So I'm holding Shift and then I just drag it down like this. Okay, holding Shift and drag it down, and I'm just gonna hold this. I'll make sure I'm holding Shift at all times to make sure everything is right in the center. Okay. So right now we have the camera. So what you can do right now, you can actually just play around with it a little bit. You can see it's spinning in, spinning out like that. Pretty cool. Now we have it's kind of 3D layers into it, right? So it's not really. I don't think it's good enough yet. I'm trying to see what I can do. Let's see the reference here. We have St. Mark Medical Center. I probably instead of actually having like this like icon, I want to actually make like a actually cut out a hospital and popping up. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. So I can come here and search for hospital cutout. Right, I want something a little bit more realistic. Hospital PNG. I want like this, but realistic. Okay. This can be tough to find it. Let's see. It's just hospital. Yeah, this process can take a while as well until you actually find the image that you actually like. Like this one, like is good. I could cut it out, but then it's not really clear that it is the hospital. So I'm not gonna use that. We write US hospital. USA hospital. Because if I actually use like the icon, I could use icon for sure. It's still gonna look somewhat decent, but I want to try a different alternative. Well, actually, before we get into that, I'm actually gonna make this circle. So just make sure I'm gonna do circle as the base of the icon, right here. Right, I will change the color later on, but here, turn it to 3D, make sure you turn it 90, put it to 70 here, and then lift it up a little bit with just Y position, so it lift off the ground, and then you can actually do 2 views, so you can actually see if it actually lift up or down. But now it lift up, which is nice. Oops. Up or down. Then these views I need to change to top. Okay, so now I can see where I should move it to match with the reference. So to actually make it smaller, just a little bit here and bring it down. Of course the color is a little bit off, but I'm just gonna make it better in just a bit. Let's hit the reference. Where is it around? So probably left, I mean to the right a little bit up, and I think the size is good. I just need to add some drop shadow to actually create depth and actually make it look like it's actually floating off the ground. I can see here. That's what the drop shadow does to the object. Okay. So here, if you go into it, I want to increase the softness a little bit of the drop shadow. Just a little bit, and then increase the distance. Not too much. Maybe just here. So now it's actually floating. It's not the same piece as this guy, okay? So this one, let's say what color would work best. What I usually like to do is just copy the color and then either make it lighter or make it darker, okay? So for example, like this one, I could just make it darker like this, or I could make it lighter. I think lighter would look better with this one. You can do just white. Okay, probably a bit of like really light gray, not completely white. So I think this looks really good. Then we have some hot stuff popping up here. Okay, again, same thing here. I also want to add in the turbulent displace to this object as well, to make sure that it's gonna remain consistent throughout. Okay, got the same texture going on and stuff like that. I might use some icon actually. Let's see if I have some. I do have some like icon like that, but let's try it out first. Not sure how it would look like not sure how would it look, but let's try it. I'm not too sure at all. I'm just gonna make it really long, like this. I don't know how long.
This pin represents Saint.
Okay, I think it's fine.
This pin
and then I have this one. With this one, I need to make sure I pre-compose it. Oh, by the way, the tool I use here is called Mr. Horse Presets. If you guys don't have it yet, I highly recommend you to get it. It's help you save a bunch of your time, and then you need to just find this icon somewhere else. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is just pre-compose this thing here. Make sure you move all attribute to the new composition and click OK. And you actually go into it first to change color. You don't need to actually. You can just go back here, just close with the kill here, and I can use fill like effects to actually change the color of everything. With the color, I probably do. Let me think. White maybe. I think white on white it might not look that good. It might be red. Just just gonna color drop it and then just make it darker, something like that. Okay, boom. Smaller of course, but with this one I just want to make sure it is from the front so I can actually see it floating. So hospital up, as you can see here, this is our circle, and then this is hospital, so make sure the size is relative as well. So I just want to make sure that the size is approximately the same, so it doesn't look too big, and it is in the center. And then also make it smaller as well. And then it's down a little bit here. and then from the top I'm gonna change back, and I want to move it here. Just make sure it is in the center like this. Okay, again, I want to grab the turbulent displays and then just add it to our hospital. So now we have
Presents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
doesn't look too good actually. I might just use like the icon instead, because this one is just kind of stand out too much. Doesn't really like it. Let's try to use like the plus icon, like the plus sign like this, to represent the hospital. I said pro. Let's go with bold. Yeah, bold would look a lot better with the fill color. I'm gonna actually just copy this right here. I think that does look really good here, and turn it 3D again. Orientation, make sure it's set here to 270, right? Make sure it's flat, and just you can do full views if you would like it to. You can see here, just up, nope, wrong one. Grab it here, and then up, just a little bit above it, and then make sure it's in the center, then here. Right, what you want to focus on is the X, so X and Z position. So make sure it is the same. You can just copy it and then just paste it here. Boom. And then just go back here, copy this value, and then go back and paste it here. Just like so. Now it is guaranteed to be in the center. And what I have left is just copy turbulent displays and then put it onto our like plus sign like this.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled
Just like
to
that.
pay its mortgage debt. This pin represents
Okay, so let's look at our
St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
St. Mark Medical Center. I want the text actually floating up like this. So I'm gonna use St. Mark, right? I'm not too sure how to pronounce it. St. Mark. I'm just gonna do all cap actually. St. Mark. Yes. Let's see if I pronounce it right. St. Mark's. St. Mark is good. Might just do one line to be honest. I mean second two line. St. Mark, but it's just one layers. Medical Center. Medical Center. Let's see. They use two fonts actually to create contrast between it. We can also do that, but for me, I like to actually keep it simple. So I'm actually gonna use one of them to be medium size here, and then this one is gonna be heavy. Boom, just like that. And then you can actually just change the color. Probably do white. Maybe not as white it is. Maybe just a little bit of gray into it as well, so it's not like pure white. And then what you can do, you can just click on the text here. Okay, so click on the text here, and then go to this value right here, and then you can actually just shrink it down to make sure that everything come together like close like that. And then I'm gonna highlight the top layers and then make sure that the fonts get a bit smaller, just like that. I'll probably do a bit here. This one get a bit bigger, and a bit just like that. Okay, with this one, you can just copy the turbulent displays here, add into it, boom, just like that.
Start.
So this one is gonna also 3Ds again. This one is good. I'm not gonna change it into. I'm not gonna flip it to make it flat. I want to stand up like this. This is good, but what I want to change is the X value. I'm gonna click here and then copy it, and then go back to my text and just paste this right here, and then just move it forwards like this. Okay, and then up, and then probably do it a bit smaller. Just like that. So when you actually do some camera movements, like let's say, it's actually look pretty 3D like that. It look really nice. Okay. Send mark medical center. I think I'm gonna reduce the drop shadow a little bit. I think it's a little bit too much. Okay, I think it's good. Let's see here. I might do like a grid background, maybe. Let's see if I want to do that. Let's just copy it. 2 solid layers, add grids. Right, it's all about experiments, right? I just have the idea that I think it might look good. It might not look good, but I still do it, right? Because I want to figure it out if it actually look good or not. Okay, so here, and then probably do a bit of thinner one, and then change the color to really dark like that. It's not bad, I would say.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital.
But if the camera move and the background stay the same, it's still pretty good still. I actually want to keep it. With this one, I'm actually gonna increase the color a little bit, something really subtle. That's one thing too when you want to do grids background. I really want you to actually change color and make sure it is really subtle like this. Okay, I don't want it to be like this much visible because it doesn't create contrast between the background and the main object of this scene right here. So I can do 1.5, and then I use turbulent displace here as well. Just copy and paste onto it.
Hospital in Texas. Starting
Again, this one I'll probably do just a bit darker. You don't even need to see it. It's just there, right? So it doesn't feel empty.
the hospital struggled to pay
Just like that. I think it's cool.
mortgage debt. In February 2020.
So now we want to animate it. Okay, so I want to animate the map first. Here's. So start animation from here. Set the marker.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
So this is when the animation stop. 1 to 2. So how I like to do it is I like to animate it backwards. So what I mean is that I like to set up everything first of where I want it to end up looking like. For example, here I click on the camera. I actually want to zoom in or like zoom in where I want it to, stop. Just kind of adjust it a little bit here and here. Just make sure everything is in the center. I think it's good. Maybe down a little bit here. I think it's fine. With the camera here, I also want to add in the hexagon iris shape as well. And let's do 2 views here. And you can actually change the focus distance to make sure it's focused on this part of the thing right here. And increase the blur level to actually see. Let's see. So I can see here it's getting blurry back then. I really like it. Okay, so the reason I increase it a lot is because I actually want to see where is the focus distance go. Okay, if it doesn't clear for you, make sure you do 4 views and then do this. Okay, I think it's pretty good. I'm gonna increase it a little bit here. So this line is represent where it's gonna be focused. So that is cool, and then I'm gonna bring it down to 200, but I'm actually gonna bring up the aperture. go back to 2. Maybe not 200s, maybe this one I'm gonna do like 100 something. Yeah, I think that's looks pretty cool already. And one thing to help sell these effects would be create a CC, create a create a adjustment layers, and then you're gonna add the couple things here. So first you see when you have to actually create a shadow around it. For example, it does look a lot better. So I'm gonna increase it up to perhaps 120, and then increase this one as well down to 60. But I'm actually gonna increase the pin highlight up to 100 maybe. Yeah, I would actually go down to 40 again. We'll increase this one to 130. Maybe this one to 0. I want to see how it look like first. 150. Decrease it to 30. So I'm just gonna play around with it. 300. How this would look like. I think this one is cool. Probably do 35. Oh no, I'll do 35. And then add this one up. Okay, that's cool. So I'm gonna stick with this one. So right now we have like it's like our finished animation. So I want it to look like this when it's in, or when it's done. I want it to end up here. Let's see, is there anything else I want to add in this animation? Set mark vertical center is fine. I actually want to add some animation on the text here. So I can also do that as well. I'm gonna use Mr. Horse presets that I have to actually use this one here. So let's go back to quarter. I want everything to animate in around here, so
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital.
Look really nice.
Pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
And I also want to animate this one up as well. Let's see, I'm gonna actually pick whips or parent this one to the shape layers here, and then I'll probably set it up to come out around here with the scale, and go back here when everything start, and this one I'm gonna set it to 0, and then just use a little bit of keyframe speed ramp, drag this one here, and if I drag this one a little bit here,
Pin represents St. Mark's Hospital.
like that, pretty smooth, and to cut it I press Command Shift D to cut it like that.
Pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Ooh.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Okay. I'm trying to see what else I can do with this one. I think it's pretty fine. With this one, I just have to just on precision, point of interest, and maybe not orientation, and go back to the first one. I just want to just zoom out. No, let's zoom out. Oh, but I've got one thing. So I want to keep the focus distance the same. Okay, so click on focus distance, and then I also want to make sure it keep focusing on the right thing. So make sure you go back to a bit farther on focus distance. That's good. So with all this, just make sure you have the speed ramp
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting
It's really smooth. Okay, I do like that. But what we're gonna do now is that I'm actually gonna just control it a little bit to actually make sure it start off like really. Let's see.
This pin represents St. Mark's.
It's not that smooth, but I don't like it. Let's try to do perhaps 70 maybe.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Ooh, I like that one. That one is really nice. But to kind of sell the effects a little bit, or to make things a bit better, I'm actually gonna add the partialized time onto this one as well by just adding it here using partialized time effects to lower the frame rates. So partialized time here, just add boom. This one set it to 18, and let's see how it look. Go back here, one views, save.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Maybe a bit lower. You don't really see it different. Maybe 15. You know.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting.
Look really good. Let's go with full. I want to see how it look like with full. We can see that there's a little blur here to actually show the depth. I really like it. Actually, let's see if I really need a grid or not. To be honest, I don't need a grid at all. I don't actually. It doesn't make it look good, so I'm actually gonna just remove it.
This pin represents St.
Let's see.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Right, what we're gonna do next? Let's see. Medical center.
This pin represents St. Mark's
I'm gonna
Hospital.
add a little of transition at the start here. I'm gonna use the frame maker transition that come with Mr. Horse. There is some frame burn here that I can use. Let's see. I want something like this, pretty easy to use. This one I think is really nice. And the cut is gonna be here.
This pin
So it's slowly
represents St.
reduce
Mark's
out. Maybe a bit longer even. Let's see. Set to quarter.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital.
I mean, I changed the thing a little bit. I want to be a bit closer when it actually happened.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in
Oh,
Texas.
that one is like a bit early. Let's see,
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
like that.
This pin represents St. Mark.
Maybe just slightly earlier.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Good. This one is good. Okay, so now we just have to focus on this
Starting in 2020, the hospital
here.
struggled
So we
pay
have
its
to do
mortgage
this one
debt.
as well.
In February 2023, the hospital board.
But I want to do it differently, right? So I don't want to do the same thing under here. What can I do? I was thinking about actually adding it on the side right here. So I'm gonna move the camera like to the left, like this. Just move it to the left, and I have the list coming onto the right. Okay, so that's kind of my plan going forwards. All right. So the next step now I want to do. Redesign on the right side here as well. I move this one to the left side, but yeah. So what we're gonna do is we have the keyframe here already. Right. I want to also set a keyframe on the center of the CC menu as well. And let's pop this up. Let's see here. Okay, actually I want to see it when it start coming in first. So something like that. So we can actually start moving right away. Doesn't matter. Just gonna copy this one. And then here. And then here. So here and here. So here is gonna be marker number 3. So now I'm gonna move from 2 to 3. Alright. 2 to 3, so I'm actually gonna shift and then just shift this one to the left like this. So we have the free space on the right side to actually do some animation stuff like that. And let's just copy this one as well. And okay, so the same speed. Adjustment layers. I want to move the CC veneer center to the left by just doing this. So make sure everything is still right on the left side, and then kind of create the shadow on the right side where I can actually put the text here. Right, really nice. Then just make sure you have the same keyframe speed like this. So here,
St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital
and then have the thing coming in. That's really nice.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
And then start 2020. So 2020.
Hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
Mortgage debt.
In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff.
Alright, so let's see. Ooh. Let's see how we do from here. I might want to move it backward a little bit as well, because I want to create more space. So I'm actually gonna move it a bit backward, but still to the left. And here. But with the focus distance, of course, I want to keep it the same. So I'm just gonna increase it here. So actually still the same. But again, just make sure to click here to see how it looks.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
Oh, that's nice. It's not bad at all. Just make it a bit smaller.
Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital.
One thing I would want to do as well is to create a new object. I want to make sure the camera is moving and shaking a little bit to make sure it look natural. So I'm going to show you how to do it in just a bit. So create new object. Okay, with a new object, you can use you can just hold Option and click the position and use like the expression here. But what I'm going to do is going to be a bit easier, because I'm actually going to use just the presets from Mr. Horse. Okay, so I'm going to actually apply the cosine position into the new object here, and then set it down to probably around 10 intensity, and then I would grab the camera and actually just parent it to it.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital.
You can see it's a little shaky like
Starting
this.
In 2020, the hospital struggled.
But it's too much, so I'm actually gonna do like 5. So it's just really subtle.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Like that.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay.
So everything kind of moving in. I think it's a little too much still. Maybe 3.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Okay, so anyway, in here, from here, it's a time frame coming in. How can I show that? How can I actually show that? Right, you also need to think how you can show it in the most aesthetic way and the easiest way for the audience to understand and for the audience to see.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
They use the line to represent the timeline here, which
February
is pretty smart.
The hospital
And also integrate like this little thing here, where it's I think it sort of represents the what's the thing called? I forgot the name, but it's the hospital things.
The board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't.
Let's see.
Arts Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
Let's see first. So 2020. I'm trying to see what I can do with this.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
What if I make it 3D? Let's see. It's not too bad. Maybe not a bad idea to make it 3D actually. Let me think. I might come up with some cool idea here. 2020. What is the thing they're gonna show?
Struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
Oh, just this one. It's pretty simple. You can use the icon on the top here, but that's pretty basic. Trying to find a more interesting way to show off this idea. Circle with the icon. That's such a basic thing to do. But what about we do this? So instead of actually we zooming out. So we zoom out here anyways. What if we just zoom out and pan it to the, let's see, I'm gonna try something else. I'm gonna try something new here. So let's see here, probably down a bit here. What if instead there you're just gonna just pivot entirely, just zoom out, and maybe just here. And then just zoom it in and just okay, so here, and then I want to just shift the focus distance to here, do some little bit of focus. So I want to see how it would look like. So from here, just ignore this one for now.
Represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
Not bad actually, transfer from this to this, and then you can just go off and then just do that. Okay, I don't mind that.
Hospital in Texas. Starting in.
But this one had to slowly come in, I would say. It cannot just pop it in like that. So I want to use the same transition of the text as the one I do earlier to keep things quite consistent.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
Oh, this one is really clean actually. This one is really clean. Then this one I don't need to move it. Actually, just keep the same. But also I want to create the. Let me just see. I need to create a solid layers to kind of make things like behind the text number a bit darker as well. So make sure I create solids here, bring it in 2020, cut here, you set this one opacity to 0, and you go here and then you probably set it to around, let's see, maybe 40. Okay, and then just make sure you have everything smoothed out.
Starting in 2020, the hospital.
It's too fast.
Starting in 2020, the hospital.
I might do a bit slower actually, just kind of pull it out a little bit. And the same thing here. Just gonna drag it out a bit longer. Just a little bit.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
That is really nice. I like that. I do like that. But again, I just need to make sure it is also in the center. It's not, it doesn't look in the center yet, but I want to just move this one to the left a little bit. I kind of need to eyeball it right now to actually just approximate it that it is right in the center for me. Oh. It's not in the center because I want to add the icon here, so I have to left some space for it. So here.
Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay mortgage debt.
No, I'm actually gonna create the icon on top here.
2020.
And then slowly just, move it up or down.
The hospital board voted to shutter in.
Okay, it's not that complicated. I'm just gonna take a little quick break and then get back with the editings. Alright, so I'm back. I'm just gonna continue with our animation. Let's see. I think this little missing something. So on the 2020, I didn't add the turbulent displays into it just yet. So you can just copy here and then add it into here just like that. So you can see these have little texture in the same way as we have. Okay, so keep things consistent is pretty much the main key of how to make good edits, right? Consistent is key. So we have here, they just here in the middle.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
And an icon. Probably do it lower then, because right now it's just a little bit too high, because after I put icon it's gonna be totally up here. I don't like that, so I wanna just move it down. I think here's good. And then make sure you have the icon. Let's see. Probably do the same color as this one to keep things really consistent, and just use this one here. Also with this one I'm actually gonna do pre-compose it. You will see why in just a bit. So I pre-compose, put it here, probably here actually, and then do. I'm gonna change this color to yellow so I know the clear separation between the layers. Come back in here and add the text $, bam, scale, go back here, and then use this one, but also make it 3D as well. I could just copy the precision of this one. P precision, and then just make it smaller, and then go backward a little bit and up. So as you can see here, I just have to move the camera up a little bit to make sure everything kind of in the middle, just like that. So 2020. This one, I feel like I could make it a bit darker. Maybe 50. Let's try it.
Starting in 2020.
So here.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
Maybe a bit smaller, or the text has to be smaller. I might try to make the text smaller instead. This might help.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
This one probably do only one.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
Then draw the line and draw a line here.
The hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
I'm gonna have the new object as well. Not solids, but no. This one is gonna be above here and it's gonna be pink, so it's easily noticed. I'm gonna actually just parent these two to new objects so that way we can actually move it like this, okay? Let's see.
In 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February,
So it's suddenly made from here and then it's starting moving right away until here. So 3 to 4. Turn it off. Set a keyframe on no object. Let's actually use green. It's easier. Position. Oh, I just want to keep just moving. You know, so it's here.
starting in 2020, the hospital struggled.
I just did too much already. I want here to be just like this.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay.
A little bit more. I just need to time it just perfectly so it's actually just.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay.
Okay, that's it too fast, so I'm just gonna do it like this.
Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay.
And then just.
In February 2023,
And it's gonna pop up here.
the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services. In 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut.
We can just keep just do by hand that work as well. Don't think it's really not necessary to do that. Can you turn this one?
Struggled. In 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. The hospital struggled.
Maybe add some text under to kind of make things a little bit more complicated. But of course, have this one and a narrative going on. I don't think I need that.
To pay its mortgage debt.
And then probably do from this marker 5 to 4. Probably would be the different one. But what I can do, I can just copy this one first, and then just probably move it up here. Make sure this one is under, and then move it out from the right side to the left side, just like that. So
Starting in 2020, the hospital. In February.
okay, here is good. I want to set the keyframe on camera here. So click U, just copy the keyframe here, and then move it here. And then I want to use this slide and then just slide everything in the center like this.
In February 20.
2023.
In February 2020,
2023, have to change that.
the hospital board voted to shutter
Let's see this one.
inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff.
So we have the bed sign, and we have the staff. Okay, so hospital bed and staff.
The hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
In February 2023,
I want to see how smooth it is first.
Mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital
Maybe a bit slower. You can actually make that happen as well.
mortgage debt. In February mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital
February, and you have to just adding some text under. So here, with this one, I'm gonna do medium under, and then probably say February. So of course, you're gonna make the text tiny, and make sure it's up. This one is gonna be slightly behind this, so here.
in February 2023, the hospital board
Just like that, and this one is gonna be behind.
in February 2023, the hospital
board
This one has to be small because we're gonna have two of them coming at the same time. But of course we can resize it later on. But the reason I make it like pre-composed like composition is because you can actually just copy. Cancel, just copy here, and actually go in and fix it. But one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to just apply the turbulent displace to the icon here. This one, and this one. Oh, I already have that. Okay, so it's fine. Okay, so I'm actually duplicate it, and then what I can do is that I can just drag this one whole option on my keyboard and then replace it. Okay, here, let's try again, just hold option. Oh, that's odd. Okay, just have that. I think should do it, no? There we go. And then I replace it. You can go in it and change some icon. You can actually find it here. Pito beds icon. Could be something simple like this. Like this. I think this is the most the same thing that you use. You can do here as well. Oh, I'm not sure about the resolution though. The resolution is really low, that's why. This one is not that bad. I think once I place it in, it's not gonna be as noticeable anyway. So I'll try this one first. If it doesn't work, then I'll try something else. Okay, so put it here, drag it in, boom. No, it would work. It would work. Yeah. Just to fill to change color of this one. Boom. Just copy the color here, and then just go into it and change color in fill, and then just remove the dollar sign, just like that. So you have the brand new icon, which is nice. Go over to main comms. So now we have this guy right here. I'm probably gonna make it smaller and up, just like that.
in February 2020. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter
inpatient.
2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut meaning overnight care, and cut.
And I also have this one coming up as well. So this one I want to duplicate it again because I want to just use the staff icon and then just option and just replace it. So this one I want to replace with person. Or we can try staff. We try people. What is the outline? I don't like that. Almost good though. Almost good. This one is cool. I'm just gonna change it. Use fill and then change the color. So you can also do that. Not a big deal. Same trick. Here, option, replace. You can click option to actually replace the object, okay, or like the PNG, the assets, or whatever. You can also do that. Okay, I'm actually gonna start animating from here because I'm gonna set the keyframe on precision and scale. Same with this one on precision and scale. And then when it fully come in like this, I actually want this guy to be side by side like this, but a bit smaller, so it both fits. For example here, and here I'm gonna actually just move it in so everything is in the center. Just like that, and make sure you select all the keyframe and then use keyframe wingman to ramp up the speed.
Inpatient services, meaning overnight care.
And overnight care, and cut nearly half.
Ooh, that's the timing is a bit off.
Care and cut nearly half.
Let me try this one.
Care and cut.
And we have to be a bit faster on this guy.
Night care and cut.
Ooh, that feels so off.
Overnight care and cut nearly half.
I think the first one is fine,
Care and cut nearly half.
but this one just have to be under, so it's hiding like the.
To shutter inpatient services, meaning
Overnight care, and cut they have to.
That's good. I think I like that one. It's kind of smoothly coming. It's like duplicated. I like that.
meaning overnight care and cut nearly half the staff.
That's perfect.
3. The hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff.
Okay, let's see. The adjustment layers. I want to make small adjustment on the pin highlight. There we go. I might do 20, 30, maybe. Yeah, I can do 30. Change that a little bit.
Cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Okay, so that's gonna be the end. Alright, so here and then shut down. So I'm gonna go back to the original video. Right, so here.
Meaning overnight care. Overnight care and cut nearly half the staff. Overnight care and cut nearly half the staff.
Then probably set a keyframe here.
It wasn't enough. By October
2023, the entire hospital shut.
So probably around here. I also want to set the marker first. So set it here and set it around here. So what we're gonna do is I'm actually gonna just go back and look back at the original hospital there, and then probably gonna do something with it. So here, and then I just want to just do a little bit of moving the camera, probably zoom in a little bit here. zoom it in, up, maybe, and maybe tilt it down. Maybe tilt it down, we just move it up. Maybe zoom in a bit. Oh, that's gonna be a bit too much, too close. Not sure actually. Just gonna figure it out. Maybe it's not, maybe it is. Never know. Also want to refocus it back. So refocus back here. Now I probably want to just make it look this way as well. And here. What the frick? Okay. Well, what we can do is just, I'm gonna just remove this one first. What we can do, we can actually move this one out of the way. So here,
It wasn't.
and then you just want to move everything out of the way by here. So, boom, set a keyframe on, let's see, probably easier to just do the new object. So create new object here, we just move everything at once, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5Ds, parent it to new object, set a keyframe on position, and then set a keyframe on position again, but this one, I'm actually gonna move it, I missed something, yeah, there we go, I missed this one, and then with the new object here, it's just gonna either move down, up, I think, I'm sure it's a better option, maybe down, I think down might look better, but make sure it's go down smoothly, so here,
It wasn't enough.
so maybe a bit longer, and I'm gonna reduce the reduce the opacity here as well, just copy the keyframe, paste it, and then go to here, and then set opacity to 0.
It wasn't enough.
And then you're gonna slowly,
By October 2023,
so here, the camera, so I'm gonna zoom in back to the thing. And then move it a little bit.
it wasn't enough.
By October
It wasn't enough.
October 20,
It wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Okay, how can I show the idea of it shutting down?
It wasn't enough. By
That's pretty smooth.
It wasn't enough. By October 2023,
October 23. We can do it under 2023 here.
Wasn't enough. But that. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
I'm gonna do a little marker up here at this top here that said 2020. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually just copy and paste this one here, just copy and paste it. One here, 2023. Boom, just like that. Everything in the center. And then probably do bold and increase the size of the text here. Let's see how it looked like.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. By October
2023,
it wasn't enough. By October 2023, the
Oh, we can just remove this one. I think you really show 2023. I could just show it in the corner here.
October 2023, it wasn't enough. By October,
I'm just gonna do it in the corner. So, okay. October 2023, I believe. That is why. Okay. So I'm actually gonna keep it in the corner. And this one probably above the adjustment layers. Due to size to create a little bit of contrast here, and also make sure you're adding in the to blend this place to the new text you just added here. I'm gonna add it in a corner. Make sure you use the same transition in, but this one is.
it wasn't enough. By October, by October, by October, by October,
Okay. So scale down, up. Oh, we can do it under here. This one is really clean as well. I do like it. Just make sure it's in the center. Yeah, I like that. Just keep it clean and simple.
it wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down. Enough. By October 2023, by October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
So shut down.
23,
So go back to shape layers.
the entire hospital shut.
So here is gonna end. But I'm gonna do transition out. Which is this one. So here.
October 2023, the entire hospital shut
down.
That's pretty clean. That's pretty clean, okay. And also with the text here as well, I'm gonna just cut it here and use the same transition out like this one, so it's actually going out at the same time.
2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Well, it just wipe out, it's gone, right?
The entire hospital shut down.
Really clean, so I'm actually gonna stop it here and then cut everything. Boom. Sorry. Cut everything, and I'm gonna do a little bit of recheck if everything go as I planned.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas.
Let's see here.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt.
In February 2023,
They don't pronounce February right, so let me just double check. I believe I do. Yeah, I didn't pronounce it right. I'm missing R. Frab. Perfect. So So I fix that. Should be okay.
Shutter inpatient services, meaning over.
Night care and entirely half this stuff. It wasn't enough. But
Three, the entire hospital shut down.
Right, it just shut down, so it just vanished like whap, like that. I really like that
Three,
idea.
the entire hospital shut down.
So let's recheck again. So I want to trim down the composition as well to 22nd and 9 frames. So right click and click composition setting and go to 20 and 09. Boom. So now we have everything fitted in one composition.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020,
the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't enough. By October 2020,
the entire hospital shut down.
Right.
This pin represents St. Mark's Hospital in Texas. Starting in 2020, the hospital struggled to pay its mortgage debt. In February 2023, the hospital board voted to shutter inpatient services, meaning overnight care, and cut nearly half the staff. It wasn't enough. By October 2023, the entire hospital shut down.
Alright, so we pretty much done with our animation. So if you want to grab yourself a project file, you can do so by heading down to the link in the description. I will provide with a project file that you can use to practice. But I got something for you. So if you make it until the end of this video, you are probably serious about taking your video editing career to the next level. So I want to help you to do so. So I want to introduce you to my video editing communities, Edit4 Premium. So inside here, I actually teaching you guys you're gonna get more of this like tutorial like this that you're not gonna see on YouTube.
John once followed
like
a
really long unedited tutorial like this, so you can actually improve your skill really fast. And let's say you feel like you are confident with your skill, the next thing you can do is that you can learn how to monetize your skill. Okay, so inside here, I actually showing you guys the exact same funnel, the exact same strategy that I use to close my client for my agencies that allow me to scale to $35,000 per month. So we have funnel overviews, pricing structure, DM closing script. So again, this strategy, you don't even need to hop on a sale call. You don't need to make like this fancy website. You don't even need to make portfolio. You don't need to do fee work. Okay, so none of that throw out the window. If you follow the exact same like strategy I show you, I can guarantee if you do everything right, you probably be able to land like 3 to 4 high paying clients within the first couple months within this program. Okay, so we also have the editing workflow for someone who is more like beginner friendly. So if you're not really familiar with Premiere Pro, not familiar with After Effects, you can actually go in here and I will walk you through my entire editing process in detail. This is gonna be more fundamental, and you can actually go from finding clips to edit to exporting video in just one section. And we also have editing resources right here. You get all my project file, background music, like my premium presets that you can use. You get AI prompt like something like this here and here. You can actually use from Midjourney and ChatGPT, and you also get access to all the tools I use for my video editing as well. Okay, and lastly, you're also gonna get access to my viral podcast clips. And it's not just podcast clips. This is just the clips that I use to re-edit, or I use it to as my marketing material. This is the video that you see on my Instagram that proven to get like millions of views. So if you use these podcast clips, it's almost guaranteed that you're probably gonna get millions of views for your video as well. If you edit the video, if you have the skill to edit the video in high level, with the viral podcast clip, it's gonna enhance your outcome and speed up your process. Okay, but yeah, make sure to check it out. The link is going to be in the description. But yeah, I hope to see you guys inside my Edit4 Premium.